Good morning, everybody. Power hitters, power family, all the solar warriors out there. Today is July 20th, and this is our weekly series, 10 a.m. Pacific training. All are welcome. Today, we have a great hour lined up for you. Some really important training on LinkedIn and recruiting and team building and leads and a whole bunch of stuff. So before we get started, yesterday was a pretty cool day for a few reasons. We had myself and JC Rangel on the Power Hour stage live from corporate headquarters here in Carlsbad. But we had a few of the top team leaders, top performers. We invited a few guests to come to the corporate headquarters. So you can see here hanging out in the boardroom, executive boardroom with Jonathan Budd and my brother Chris there. And then we got everybody up on stage. There's Zach, Isela, David Perez, Joe Medina, JC, Anthony Bonilla. So we had a little fun yesterday. We hope to do this, in the future as well for top performers and team leaders, get them to the headquarters. So we did our Power Hour on stage. JC crushed it. The recording should be coming soon. And then we took everyone to dinner. Here is Jim Bunch at dinner, one of the co-founders of Power, in charge of culture and training. So we had a blast, JC and his wife there as well. So more events to come. I hope to get everyone to the corporate headquarters. And one of the goals here is to get on stage and to notice corporate recognizing you and be able to speak to everybody. So that's definitely one of the goals here at Power. Okay, so I'd love to hear from a few recent success stories. If you got a lead, a referral, an ambassador, an install, you door knocked, would love for you just to shout it out. Feel free to jump off mute and go ahead and do a quick share.
Yeah, JB, I'll hop in, and it's really I've said this story like probably for the past couple of weeks. I think I've told you, and I was talking to the team about it yesterday, and it was just a testament to Power. So I sold a Sonova lease to a customer I'd been working with for a really long time. Gave him a really good rate too. It's 15 cents fixed for 25 years. We go to measure his roof, and the engineer says, "Hey, this roof is built in like the 30s. The rafters are really far spread." And back when I was over at like Sunrun and Solar City, like when that happened, those deals were just dead. And instead of the deal just being dead, what Power did is they started searching for a roofer to come out and do work. Basically, they needed to put in some additional like purlin beams through the attic, which is a lot of tough work, and a lot of roofers won't do it because it's just a lot of work for not a ton of money. It took them like 6 weeks because they were trying to find, they're really like actively looking. They hit up like 3 or 4 different companies before they found someone to agree to it. And so finally they found someone to agree to do it. The commission originally was like $9,600. They're like, "Hey, we can do it for $3,600. I was like, "Okay, cool. Like, I'll just eat that because now my customer gets to get installed. He's going to be stoked. I'm still going to make $6,000 off of the deal." And he's a cop, and now he wants to like actively work in our ambassador program. So that's something that's really cool. Something that I never really saw at other solar companies. So I thought I'd share that because it just really is a testament to a strong platform, and the back channel is coming with the operations team. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Congratulations. Woohoo.
Very nice, very nice. And that's just a great reminder, because at any solar company, if you're not used to being in this industry, they're going to disqualify a job. There's going to be certain situations, roofs, like Zach said, that are going to be disqualified. Maybe the roof's not in good condition, but honestly, for those of us that have been in the industry, Power really does qualify more homes than not, more homes than other companies. And so if you haven't had a home disqualified, 1 in 4 homes don't always qualify. So great reminder, the power of this platform. Thank you, Zach. And hopefully a police officers, a lot of referrals with that ambassador program.
Totally.
Very good. Anything else, Tammy?
Hey, Jonathan, I've got one for you.
You're taking a view
Sorry, Tammy. Go ahead and unmute yourself one more time there.
No worries. Technology is fun.
There you go.
Yeah. So I hear all of the really great power hitters talking about always be closing, ABCs, all ABCs. I kind of adjusted that a little bit, and I'm always chatting, because that leads to the always be closing. And I've been chatting about solar for 5 years since I've been with power. And I had a homeowner who I met at a music festival in Canada, who I was able to set up in Idaho, in Boise, Idaho. It's my first sale in Boise with a complete 9.28 kilowatt system, 40K battery backup, and an upgrade to the MPU. He's super happy. It all worked out really well. I thank my mentor, Larry, who kind of walked me through a couple of things, and it is really about just finding your passion and chatting about it. And so, it's not about always the closing, but keep talking, find your passion and talk about it. So that's my story.
Oh, Tammy, awesome job. Idaho, that's exciting. Such a new market for us. A lot of expansion, growth, referrals. So great job. I love the feedback.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Hey, this is Jay. Just real briefly, I'm kind of getting ramped up on solar. I'm a practicing attorney right now, so I'm transitioning. But you guys have fired me up so much about recruiting, especially after last night, that there's a North Carolina-based call on Thursday, and I just said, heck, why not just start picking up the phone and trying to meet some people? So I started with some EXP realtors. I've had like 3 good conversations, and none of them had heard of power. One had heard of it vaguely. So I'm going to email all of them some more information. And then I've got a list of about 10 roofers I'm going to call. It's a great deal for roofers. I mean, I noticed, I didn't know they had financing, but they do. But ours is better, and you can get the tax credit if they do the roof and the solar together. So I think, that's where I'm starting as far as networking for team building.
Yeah, that's awesome, Jay. Great work. A lot of people don't put in the time to contact agents, EXP agents, and contact the roofers. And that is a great way to network, get consultants, get ambassadors, and get leads. So,
yep. I told the brokers, I've talked to the managing broker at all 3 places, and I said, hey, you can get at least $1,000 for referrals, but if you want to be a dual consultant, you get 50% of the commission or all the commission. So it's just up to you. So anyway.
Yeah, that's a great way to get leads. In the past 2 weeks, I've had 2 realtors give me 3 leads each, and I've had a roofer give me 5 leads, closed about 3 of all those so far. It's a great way to get leads.
Thanks for all you guys are doing.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Welcome. We'll
Thank
take
you.
one more. Anyone else would like to share one?
Jonathan,
Tammy.
I am a green realtor myself, which is how I got recruited, and I've been only doing this very part-time. But as I'm weaving it into my schedule, I'll finally have my first install next week to a fellow green realtor. So excited about that. I have several appointments today set from the LinkedIn campaign. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn today from the Power Up LeadHero. And I just spoke with my first roofer, working on recruiting him. And I literally just was sitting here. I just popped up my first lead on the Power site. So we're getting a little momentum this week, finally, after sort of a slow integration into my schedule. So it's been fun. And I just got off the phone with an hour-long conversation about a potential recruit. So anyway, it's a good week.
Tammy, congratulations. I look forward to that installation. I hope you go out, take pictures, bring him a gift, knock some doors, leave some flyers, have some fun.
I will be over there. You bet. Thank you.
Very cool. All right. I know there's a lot of success stories right now. It's summer, it's hot. Now is the time. So let's go ahead and kick this training off so we can get you back in the field. 2 people that have had success with LeadHero, which is what we're going to talk about today before I introduce them. My twin brother, Chris, and another leader you've probably heard of, Kiara. So we're going to have them speak real quick, just like Tammy obviously had some success with LinkedIn and LeadHero. We just want to hear from them on some of their successes, and then we're going to hand this off for a good little training. Kiara, are you there by chance?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys see me, hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Can you tell us a little bit about LeadHero and LinkedIn and just how it's helped your business?
Yeah, and I'll give some background on myself too, because it kind of helps put it in perspective. So I do come from a business, sales, and marketing background where my job was to find like decision makers at, big companies. And LinkedIn has always been my platform to do so because you can get so much data from LinkedIn and really target certain metrics to get the results you're looking for. So for those of you who know me, my time is one of the most precious resources to me, and I'm always looking for ways to optimize my time. And I'm really big on having systems and processes that work because it helps you capitalize on your time. So as a business owner, you should always ask yourself two questions. One is, can someone do this better than I can? And then number two is, can someone do this quicker than I can? Because if you're able to spend your time doing activities that yield revenue, that's obviously a better use of your time. So if the answer is yes to both of these questions, you should offload that task to somebody and have them do it. And if the answer is no to both of these questions, then you should continue to do those tasks yourself until you can find someone who can. And so the reason I tell you this is that's why I hired LeadHero. I mean, I'm fully capable of running LinkedIn campaigns, but they're able to really take your business to the next level as far as saving myself time. And they do have a better system and process in place than I had. So, just be thinking about that. I know a lot of people are hesitant to hire contractors or they hire certain professionals, but ask yourself those two questions. Can someone else do this better than I can? Or can they do it quicker than I can? And if the answer is yes to either of those, you should probably, onboard them. And that's what LeadHero does for me in my business. And I really recommend them.
Great. Thank you, Kiara. Kiara is a very successful mentor, 4 or 5 months in the business, probably a team of over 30, 35 people already. So appreciate your support. And then I think Chris here has a few things to share.
Hey guys, Chris here. I know I sound just the same as John for the most part, but I just wanted to share with you some of the experience I've had with LeadHero. Done it for the past 3 months. And what LeadHero does is it automates the connection requests on LinkedIn and it automates sending out messages. So you can see here some of the results we've had. About 1,900 connection requests sent in 3 months. So that's about 20 per day that it's sending automatically for you. I've had about 287 connections that have been added. So those are people that have added us as a friend, quote unquote, on LinkedIn. And then what LeadHero software does, it allows you to automate the messaging. So it sends the messaging automatically, right when you get connected with them, it sends a message. A week later, it sends a message. A week later, it sends a message if they don't reply. So you can see in blue, that's everything that LinkedIn helps you automate. So you don't need to send connection requests every day, go in and add people, see who added them, message them. LeadHero basically helps automate all of that for you. And so you can see about 212 people replied to the messages in the last 3 months. So, on average, when I open up LinkedIn app on my phone or my computer, I see a couple new messages per day. And then I see a couple messages from prior conversations that I've had. And LeadHero also helps with the targeting. So you get to choose who you want to connect with on LinkedIn. For my particular case, I'm going after solar pros that are in California. So you get to determine who you want to go after. I think Tammy mentioned she's going after realtors. You can also go after roofers. You could go after people in different companies, other network marketing companies. You could target those people, add them as friends, have conversations. So you get to decide who you want to go after, send them connection requests, the messaging gets sent automatically. So that all happens automatically. Where we come in is having conversations with them, building a relationship with them, ask them if they've heard about Power, give them some of the highlights about Power, 30-year warranty, low red lines, high commissions, choose any panel, any inverter, all the highlights about it, and then see if they're interested. Get them to schedule a call. So normally I give them the highlights. I ask them when's a good time to chat. And once I pin them down on a time, okay, tomorrow we'll talk at 3 o'clock. Then I'll send them the 15-minute video that my brother did. Check out this video before our call if you're able to. That way, when I have a conversation, they know about power. They're well informed about power. So in the past 3 months, I've had over 50 phone conversations from these efforts on LinkedIn. And then I've also, they don't sign up right away, right? So you got to keep in touch with them on text, email, invite them to the Monday Power Hour, invite them to some other training, just keep engaged with them. It does require multiple touch points to keep in touch with them. If you've had them on LinkedIn, if you've had a phone call with them. So from there, by keeping in touch, having those 50 phone conversations from these efforts, I've actually been able to sign up over 15 new consultants on my team. One of them has already become a mentor. And I've signed over 10 deals so far with these new consultants that have joined. So just wanted to share with you guys what results we've had with LeadHero in the past few months. And for me, I don't come from a sales background. So for me, this is a way to get leads myself, right? By having new consultants. I'm a mentor in the platform, so I get to mentor their first deal to 3 deals. So for me, this is a way that I've gotten leads. I've been able to jump up on the leaderboard and increase my sales that I have with power. And then it's also the long-term play, right? So I'm building the team, I'm building that passive income that's going to be coming in the future. So yeah, that's my experience so far with LeadHero. Just wanted to kind of give you that, guys, the overview. If any of you want to connect with me on Facebook, hit me up, we can chat more.
Very cool. So that's Chris Bernasso, the mentor here. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get that video in the link. It's on my YouTube. It's basically power explained in 15 minutes. It's short, sweet, to the point. I need to do a new one, but we'll get that in here. Okay, so we're going to hand this off. Obviously, LeadHero works. Chris and Kiara and Tammy and a lot of people are using it. So it's definitely something you want to look into, get some training on. And Christine and her team, I believe including Sarah, are going to go ahead and teach us a little bit on LinkedIn, show us a package option if you're interested. And then at the end, we have some important updates and announcements before we wrap this up. So Christine, if you're there, the stage is yours. I'll stop sharing my screen and we can rock and roll. Just unmute yourself there.
Now I'm not muted, right?
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll say hi, everyone, again. So nice to see so many faces, some familiar, many new. I'm Christine Roth, and I am the account manager that works with all of the power consultants that work with LeadHero. And Sarah is on the call with us as well. She's the co-founder of LeadHero, and she's going to be walking us through our training today. So I just wanted to say a quick hello and just go over what we're going to be reviewing today and then kind of the next steps. So we are going to do some training on LinkedIn marketing and how you can use LinkedIn to just start growing your organization. We primarily focus on the team building side, although solar sales do come into play, like Chris mentioned, and I know Tammy has had some sales come out of her LinkedIn efforts as well. So for the team building side, growing your organization, LinkedIn is an extremely powerful tool. And making sure that you're optimizing your profile from today forward is really, really important, because LinkedIn has grown so much in the last, I don't know, probably 5 to 7 years in that you can post videos and you can really make your LinkedIn profile a landing page that's going to be important when people connect with you and want to look at your experience and maybe why they would want to team up with you in solar. It is I know when I first started working with LeadHero, I still kind of thought of LinkedIn as the place where you post your resume and you maybe, talk to a recruiter or go find a job. And it's so much more than that now. So Sarah's going to go over a little bit of that with us as well.
So after our training, we will talk a bit more about our program. We started working with Bobby Smith about 2 years ago. It's so hard to believe it's been that long. And I'm not rude. He's actually been texting me about something. That's why I've been looking at my phone for this first little bit. So Bobby's been running with us a little less than 2 years. And then from there, we started introducing our program to more and more power consultants. So thank you, Chris and John, for having us here today. We're really excited to be sharing this with your team. And we've been talking in the background about how we can create resources that the team can use for any of you that decide to come on board with LeadHero, just really to get everybody kind of using the resources that are working well amongst the team members who are with LeadHero. So we can talk a bit about our program. We have 2 programs. So some of you are in our superhero program already, or you may have heard about it from other consultants you know in Power. And the program that we're going to be talking about mostly today is our Power Up program, which is basically the introduction to LeadHero and LinkedIn marketing. So whether you have a lot of LinkedIn experience or no LinkedIn experience, we can help you build this into your marketing plan if this is something that you want to do. And what I love seeing with all of our consultants that work with us is that this is something that's a huge time saver, like Kiara mentioned, and it works in the background of your business. So you still go out and you sell solar, you work your business every day. And in the background, this program is helping you reach out to qualified, targeted people that you might find are interested in the solar industry and obviously more specifically power. So we're really excited to present to you today a little bit more about LinkedIn marketing. And then we'll have a Q&A section at the end where you can ask questions, and we just hope to work with more of you on the team moving forward. So I'm actually going to ask, am I able to share my screen?
Yes, I believe
okay.
so.
So I'm gonna be sharing, usually Sarah's doing this, but she is in a remote location today and was having some internet issues. So this should make it so we don't lose the screen, even if she has a connection issue. Sarah, are you there?
I am here. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Like Christine said, I'm sure everyone's offices have changed over the past year. So my office today right now is outside of a lake. So you might hear some birds chirping in the background.
The beauty of learning how to work remotely. All right, Sarah, talk to us about LinkedIn marketing.
All right, so we are so excited to be here today. What I really want to try to convey on this call is the importance of the LinkedIn platform. Some 3 things that you can do to your profile today to make sure that it is optimized for growing your team with power. These are things that you should be doing even if you don't work with a company like ours. You need to make sure that your LinkedIn is customer facing. So whatever audiences you're going after, Chris is going after the solo pros in California, and you need to make sure that your profile is reflective and important to that audience. So we primarily work with LinkedIn as our main platform. It is the best networking platform out there. It's growing exponentially over the past even 2 years. When everything happened with COVID, really the only game in town is LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn, you need to be. And if you already are on LinkedIn and you're currently using it, it's always great to go back and refresh your profile and make sure that you have a plan in place to stay consistent. So basically the LinkedIn funnel here is the basics of sales and prospecting. It's identifying your target audience, which we do with our program primarily through Sales Navigator, which gives you about 29 different filtering options, and then reaching out to people to bring them into your network, which is automated with our program, and then also making sure you're following up with those touch points. It's all about the follow-up and saving time with that follow-up. And then ultimately leading people to having a Zoom call with you or having a phone call or following up via a warm email. So we're trying to automate the processes that really take the most time so that you're primarily speaking with people that are already interested in talking with you, interested in power, have questions. So we're just trying to be the best time saver and be the most efficient prospecting processes on LinkedIn for you. So the LinkedIn prospecting map just takes another step outward. So the first step of it is basically the LinkedIn structure of making sure that your profile is optimized, that you're searching for the right people on Sales Navigator, the right audience of people that you can identify through Sales Navigator, and automating going out. Once they accept the connection request, series and giving them the important information they would need in order to speak with you. And then once you do have that reply, or you do, it's important to have somewhat of a skill and a little bit of guidance in order to make sure that you're following up with them the right way. So if you're following up with them with another LinkedIn message, or you're able to take that conversation off of LinkedIn into a warm email, a warm phone call, or just tracking them in a CRM system that you might have for retargeting campaigns. And then ultimately, we're just trying to drive people to a Zoom call or a phone call to make sure that you can get them to the next step.
Yeah, and I just want to jump on real quick and say this is important to understand if you want to make use of LinkedIn in a way where it's going to help you grow your business. Even if you're not going to use LeadHero, this is the process that you should try to follow. And this is usually the time where someone is sitting looking at this saying, there's no way I could keep up with this myself. And that's why we exist. But if you're going to be doing that initial reaching out and inviting to connect, you may have built a really strong network, in this industry or past industry, and you might be sitting there with 2,000 or 3,000 contacts. But if they're just sitting there as connections in your LinkedIn and you're never talking to them, you're never providing them useful information, they never hear from you, they're not really worth a whole lot because you have no relationship with those people. So, trying to manage, okay, I've connected with people, now I need to reach out to them the first time. Oh, they never wrote back. It's been 6 months. I should do that again, or it's been 6 weeks. And you'd think to yourself, if you're adding a couple hundred people every couple months, how are you managing who got what message when, and when's the next one going out? And that's why we're here to help you with that. But I do think that this slide is important if you're brand new to LinkedIn marketing or really any kind of sales follow-up. This is sort of what it takes. Any of us that have been in sales for a long time know it's not the first or second time you reach out to someone that you usually get the results. You always might get results and you have early success, but usually it takes a few times of reaching out to people. And if you don't continue to do that, you may lose someone that otherwise would have been interested. So I think this slide's really important just to understand, taking someone from just meeting them to actually engaging in meaningful conversation and then seeing results. So this is just something that you can keep in mind as you grow your business, no matter what method you're using. But you can know that when you come on board with LeadHero, that we take care of all these steps for you. And you are involved in the beginning, which is who are you looking to reach and what are we saying to them? And then you're involved at the end, which is they wrote back to you and now you go have that conversation.
And a couple things, something that we always say internally with our team and to our clients is that you can't always control the results, but you can control the actions that drive your deals toward completion. So like Kiara said, making it most efficient for you and saving you the most time is really important, because if you're not in the game, you're not going to grow your team. And then one small thing too as well, when Chris came on with us a few months ago, Jonathan already had a giant network that they hadn't really tapped into. So what we were able to do is create some messenger campaigns initially to reach out to people that were already in his network that they wanted more touch points to go out to. So we had about 1,200 people across 4 different campaigns in there as well, with about 170 replies. So it's about collecting people into your network, but then doing something with them, starting those conversations. So what we're going to do is just kind of talk about your LinkedIn profile for a few slides, and then 3 different sections of the profile that everyone can do today if you haven't done it yet. And if you already have a profile, go back and look at it and see if anything needs to be updated or optimized. So when you're thinking about your LinkedIn profile, like Christine said, it's your personal landing page. Everyone in power is the CEO of their own business, like Bobby always says. So first impressions are really important. You want to make sure it's completely filled out. All the different sections are filled out and that it's customer facing. So when someone does visit your profile, they truly do understand what you're doing, why they should connect with you, and how your solution offers to help them. So these are just things that you want to keep in mind before you go even update your profile. And then quickly also, the mindset is really important too. So before you even make any updates on your profile, you want to be thinking about your audience. So who are you going to be reaching out to, either manually or with a program like ours? So are they visiting your profile? Would they want to connect with you? Would they want, people connect for many different reasons, which is why it's so important to include a lot of information on your profile. People could connect with you because you went to the same school, because you have the same interests, because they think you can really help them, because they're interested more in power. They may have heard about it in the past, but now you've reached out to them and now they might want some more information. So it's important to kind of really recognize who your audience is before you even make changes to your profile. And then also recognizing your niche. So like Tammy said, she's going after real estate agents in certain states. So in Sales Navigator, you can choose the different states you want to go after. You can choose the different job titles, different company types and names. There's so much you can do to really niche down into your audience, which is, I think, really helpful in this space. And then also just define your uniqueness. So why would someone want to talk to you and your business rather than a different solar consultant or a different power consultant? So it's important to really try to identify what your uniqueness is and then use that and try to display that on your profile. So the first and easiest section of the profile really is your profile picture. So if you don't have one, you need one, because it's the first impression. As soon as someone goes to your profile, within 3 seconds, they're going to decide if they want to connect with you, if they trust you, and if you're worth their time. So you want to make sure that it is high resolution, clear image. Make sure it takes up about 60% of the frame. It's a 400 by 400 pixel picture. And you can see here, according to LinkedIn, the pictures received 21 times more engagement and 9 times more connection requests than without a picture or with a poor picture. So it's a really easy, simple thing you can do today if you don't already have that optimized and complete. And then on number 2, is the LinkedIn headline. So this is the headline right underneath of your profile picture. This has changed so much over the years. It used to just be your job title. And when you fill out your experience section, it can automatically change your headline, but it's so much more now. It's an opportunity. So it's an opportunity to showcase who you are, what you do. There's 3 different types of formulas that you can follow if you don't already have this complete, or if you want to revamp it. It's a chance to showcase your unique value proposition. So we're all selling solar, we're all a part of power, but you want to put your own spin on it. So when you start reaching out to certain niche audiences, you want to make sure that they think that you would be a good person to talk to. So if you haven't done this already, you can follow these couple of formulas and create your own headline. And a little side note on the headline, it's about 120 characters if you update it on your desktop, but if you wanted to add more characters, if you do it through your mobile phone, you get about 200 characters. So if you wanted to add a little bit more information, or if you have a longer headline, you can do it that way. And then number 3, the about section. So again, this has always really been kind of the resume style section of your accomplishments and what you do in your business, but it's another great opportunity to fill up that space with what people want to learn more about you. So the first few lines of the about section shows when someone visits your profile, and then they have to click see more to see the whole portion of the about section. So you really want to make sure those first couple of lines in your about section hooks them in and grabs their attention, and make them want to click see more to have more information there. So you want to really explain who you are, what sets you apart, so that unique value proposition formula in the headline section, you can include that again here. And your work results, so solar sales, things that you've accomplished. And if you're not quite there and you don't have solar sales, that's completely fine. We've worked with a lot of consultants that are new to power, new to solar, and they really just rely on the power statistics and the power information. So if you're new and you want to use the power information, that is great for this section. And then you can also include your ideal customer persona, so who you're going after in your team and who you're bringing into your team and ambassadors, and then the benefits of working with you specifically. So some people are really focusing on helping people one-on-one in sales, but everyone has their own uniqueness, and it needs to be showcased in the about section. And then always end everything with a call to action. So what is the best way to contact you? What does your sales process look like? Are you someone like Bobby who just jumps on the phone with people right away? Or do you follow a process where you're going to follow up via email and then through a Zoom call? So you always just want to make sure you have that sales process in place, and then include that at the bottom of your about section.
Okay. That's kind of the end of the profile optimization, right?
Yep.
I just don't want to jump ahead. Okay, so one thing I wanted to add in here, really kind of going back up to the first slide about define your uniqueness. There's another section on the profile. We could have went on for an hour about this, but one more that I wanted to mention is the featured section on your profile, where you are able to upload links to video. Power and LeadHero have worked very closely to provide video and resources for the LeadHero consultants that work with us. So we're constantly working with Power's marketing team and trying to come up with things that you all can use. And then obviously John has resources for his team, all of you as well. So I love this section because it's a great way to give solid information in video form, in short form. Something like the business opportunity and the comp plan can be a little challenging to explain, especially if you're new. And if you're working or talking with a solar pro that's been in the industry for 15 years and you're newer, maybe you don't want to try to explain that whole process, and you just want to say, hey, here's a 10-minute video. It tells you everything you need to know. So there are some things that you can put on your LinkedIn profile that people can watch before they even talk to you. Jim Bunch recorded a 5-minute why power video a few months ago that's been really popular. It's worked really well. And then another thing that I've loved seeing some of the consultants we work with do is just recording their own videos to show their own personality. Just use your cell phone and a ring light, and do a 90-second video of who you are and why you're in solar and why power, why you want to help other people get started in this business opportunity, and have something like that on your profile. The more people can connect with you, the more likely they're going to choose you to talk to and not somebody else. I mean, if they went on and searched power consultants, they'd find hundreds. So why should they talk to you? We actually had someone do this in the beginning of the year, and he just recorded a quick video on his phone, posted it, and through his LeadHero program, reached out to someone who went and watched that and said, I really feel like I connected to you and your story, and I decided to book a call. So it does work, and it's free. And I think a lot of people aren't using that section. So that's another thing that you can do today by going to Power's YouTube channel and just finding some really good videos, or I don't know what John has available, but you can obviously use anything that he provides as well, and just get some things up there for people to check out when they're looking at your profile. All right. Are we good to move on, John, or do you want to stop here for a sec, or should we just keep going and then just do everything at the end as far as questions go?
I don't see any questions in here yet.
Okay.
So I think we can keep going.
And we do have a profile guide that we provided to Power back when we did a presentation just like this after Scale Up. So we can provide that. John, we can send it to you and then you can share it however you guys all share info with the team. But we can provide that. So a lot of what we've talked about today, you can go back and review and work through the guide and make those changes that might be necessary for your profile.
Great, thanks. And I think I actually have the guide and I just posted it in the chat for everyone.
Oh, perfect.
Make sure to grab a copy of that so you can reference it and revisit it.
Okay, great. Sarah, do you want to talk through the kind of the visual here?
Yeah, absolutely. So in working with Power, what we've created is basically a two-step program where consultants have come to us where they've either not done anything on LinkedIn or they've tried to do some manual prospecting on LinkedIn, connecting with people and then trying to follow up. That's perfectly fine. And if you have the time to do that, that's the way to go. But if you find that you need to make your time, save more time, make your processes more efficient, that's why we created the Power Up program. So the Power Up program is primarily a LinkedIn training program, but it also includes our software and dashboard to be able to automate those invites and messaging with Power approved campaigns, as well as access to the dashboard for being able to reply back to anyone that replies to the incoming messages. So it's really a do-it-yourself type of program that is 3 months. So you're getting an overview of how LinkedIn works, the profile guide, access to the dashboard and campaigns that you can get started, as well as training on Sales Navigator. And we created this as a step up to the Superhero program. So the Superhero program is a one-on-one program where we are basically doing all of the marketing work for you so that you are just responding to interested leads. So it's more for scaling your prospecting efforts and someone that has more experience in solar, has more experience on LinkedIn. But we really wanted to create this Power Up program to make sure that everyone is familiar with LinkedIn and how the process works and has a great foundation to be able to build up to a higher program.
And the Power Up program is built as a 90-day program. So it's almost like if you were taking, like a course in some kind of application or something like that. So it's 90 days, you sign up, you're in for the 90 days and you have access to everything Sarah just mentioned. But along with that, it's helping you build up your network, because what we were finding was we were hearing from Power consultants that were hearing about this program and they wanted into the program, but they didn't have enough connections in their network on LinkedIn for the Superhero program to work the way we know it can and should. And we didn't want to take people's money and just knowing that they weren't going to get the results that, we've seen with Bobby and Gigi and Chris and John and some other people in Power who had strong networks. So we decided that we needed to find a way to help people kind of get to the point where if they wanted to make the investment in Superhero, that it would be worth it for them. So the Power Up program was born out of that interest. And what it grew into was a really good, just overall training program. Bobby joins on the calls and gives his insight, helps you learn how to overcome objections in not only your LinkedIn conversations, but really in any conversation you're having about the company or about solar in general. And by the end of that program, we had a handful of people that then decided to upgrade to the Superhero program. And they had learned enough, they had seen results as far as growing their network, and now they wanted to be able to maximize the outreach that we can provide. They wanted to get really specific in their messaging and who it was going to and different groups of people. So that's all of the capabilities of the Superhero program. So I feel after going through the Power Up program with our first group that the best thing that you can do, unless you're really experienced with LinkedIn marketing in this way, and you have a marketing budget where, $900 a month is a piece of your budget and not the entire thing, the Power Up program is a good place to start because it is less expensive. It's $13.88 for 3 months. And you just really learn the system and how it works. So then 3 months from now, you should be at the point where your solar business has grown and you have more money coming in, and that $900 investment is just not as big of, a part of your marketing budget. And then it makes sense for you. So the Power Up program is a good place to start, and then you can grow into the superhero program. Okay. So in the Power Up program, like we said in the previous slide, you're going to learn how to use the LinkedIn platform. You're going to create a LinkedIn profile that is your best marketing tool. So we dive a little bit deeper into the profile optimization and just making sure that when we're helping you connect with people, that they're going to want to have those conversations with you. Grow your LinkedIn network of first degree connections, obviously, and then building a network process that grows your business. And yes, John, I think it did say on that slide, but you want to have at least 100 connections on LinkedIn to even join the Power Up program. And the reason for that is Sales Navigator pulls from your first degree connections and their networks. So if you came to us and said, I'm brand new to LinkedIn, I'm going to sign up for a profile today. If we conducted a search and you had no connections, there would be no results. So even though there's a billion people on LinkedIn, we don't have access to a billion people. We have access to the second and third degree connections of the people you're connected to. And then we also have access if you are in different groups on LinkedIn. So if you're in, eco-friendly, solar, sustainability, sales, entrepreneurship, any of those groups, we also have access to those groups. And then we conduct the searches based on the criteria that you want to find in someone to end up in your search. And that's how those searches happen. So that might sound confusing, but the key is that you need to start with some kind of network in order for the searches to produce results. And we help you through that. So if you're sitting here saying, this sounds amazing, but I only have 20 connections, I've never touched my LinkedIn, you could get to 100 connections in probably about a week, maybe 2. So we can also give you some suggestions on how to build that number if you're willing to put in 10 minutes a day, and then 10 days from now, you'd be qualified to join Power Up. So it's a very quick fix if this is something that you're interested in doing. Thank you for making that point. That's important.
Yeah, sure. And I think you can even connect LinkedIn with your contacts on your phone or your email contacts, or maybe even Facebook. And then you can just invite your spheres to join you on LinkedIn to get those connection requests up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great place to start, is your friends and family, people you know, people you went to the same school with. Anything that you have an initial contact with is great for getting those connection rates up in the beginning.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so Marcus, your question, do you have troubles with LinkedIn policies? Any risk your automated messages get shut down? So what I'll say about this, and I'll turn it over to Sarah, is that we are really doing, if you were the most organized person in the world, what we do, you could do yourself. So we don't send 1,000 invites a day. We actually mirror what an actual human being would be doing on LinkedIn if they spent all day on LinkedIn. So we stay within the parameters that we feel LinkedIn has implemented as far as how many invites can go out every day. And we work with you one-on-one on, well, this is more of the superhero program, but even in the Power Up program, the campaigns that we have written are personalized. They're going to only people that have accepted your invite request. So they've agreed to connect with you on LinkedIn, and you have the right to send them a message. So we make it so it would be the equivalent of you sitting there and copy and pasting messaging all day, which you could do if that's how you wanted to spend your time. So we are not spam. We have copywriters. We have people that help with writing your messaging and making sure that this is mirroring what a human would be doing. So LinkedIn does change how they want things done from time to time. And that doesn't matter if you're using LeadHero or if you're doing it on your own. And an advantage of being with LeadHero is that we are always looking out for changes. So the amount of invites that could go out on a daily basis recently shifted, and we've made adjustments. If you were doing all the inviting yourself, you might not have even known that. And then all of a sudden you just want to be able to invite to connect for some amount of time. So it's kind of an ever-changing thing, but that's part of our job, is to make sure we know what's going on and we make adjustments accordingly. And we've had very little trouble with that being an issue. Sarah, is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah,
about
just
that?
to touch on that a little bit. So we are a cloud-based software. We are not an extension or a Chrome extension, which is really important when you're automating invites and messaging. Like Christine said, we do not go over any type of limits LinkedIn has set in place. And then also it goes a step further. So it only sends out invites and messaging in the time zone that you are in, that your LinkedIn is in. And then also sets smart limits and safety features on how many invites go out per campaign, how many messages go out per campaign, and really stays below those limits. And that's all set on your dashboard account. So it's specifically meant for you. And then it also mimics human behavior. So you can set time zones and time limits per day and which days of the week that you're actually sending things out from your profile. So we've had no issues with anything getting shut down or anything getting restricted in terms of your profile.
Sorry, I just realized I moved away from our, sorry. I was getting the jot form link. Okay, so I didn't realize the time here, and we are almost out of time already. So we had a couple more things to go through, but we can find a way to get that over to John, and he can just share. So what you're looking at right now is the package that I mentioned for Power Up. It's a total of $13.88. You can see on the right hand side everything that's included. So there is everything that you are that you're going to need to get this off and running is included in the Power Up program. And then as you build with Power Up, we start to talk to you towards the end of that program about possibly moving into the superhero program. We have people that upgraded, we have people that renewed, either one works. So for the sake of time, what we can do is I'm going to share a link that you can fill out. It's just like a simple form, and you can fill that out, and that'll just indicate that you're interested in getting more information. And we can make sure that the slides that we didn't get to go over, really, they're just more in depth about everything that your account's going to include. We'll get that over to you. And then, we have a group that is starting. So if you want to get on board and get going, we can do that as quickly as this week. We can send you a proposal, and then you just send that back to us. And then we start with your account set up, and then you will just start joining our calls with the group. I feel like all of a sudden we ran out of time, so I might be forgetting some things. John, is there anything else you wanted us to cover before we wrap up?
How do the calls work, Christine? There's 4 weeks of training calls or some support given.
Yep. So we've shifted a couple things around this time because we found that some of the materials we didn't really need a call for, but we host all of our materials on Power U. So there's a LeadHero folder on Power U where all of the resources that you're going to need to implement the software and upload your campaigns and use Sales Navigator are all there. We walk you through all of that. So we have, 3 to 4 calls in the first month to make sure that you're set up and running. And then we bring the group together after the setup period for support calls. And they are once a week. And all of our Power Up people, whether they've renewed or they're new to the group, are invited. And those are great because you learn from each other. Bobby joins, other leaders join. We can talk about, somebody responded and said this, what should I say? We can give you tips on utilizing the software or organizing your incoming leads better. So there's a lot that happens in those calls. They're recorded. So if you can't be on live, we send you the recording. They're also hosted in Power U as well. So the calls, I think, were of huge value to everybody in the last round, and they were super powerful and fun, and people learned a lot. So You get everything that you get in the package from us as far as, you know, the software and the messages and what we're doing, but also the connections you'll make, the people that you might meet outside of this team, and just learning how to maximize the program, I think is of extreme value as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Very good. So the 1388 is a total all in for a 3-month program, everything you get there. And then what does the payment plan look like? Is it monthly?
So it was last time it was 100% upfront, which was no problem. But this time around, we've had people asking what we can do. So what we've decided on is that you can pay half to reserve your spot, and then the second half is due when your account setup call happens. So we do need for this to be paid before the program ends. It needs to be paid up front, but we can do half and half. So it would be half now and then a half about 2 weeks from now or something like that. But it really is supposed to be paid all at once. So we just sort of made that exception because this time around it seemed, maybe it's the time of year, I don't know. So we've made an exception, but typically it's upfront. And then the superhero program's monthly because it's a lot more money. It's $800 to $900 a month. So that's a monthly payment.
Okay. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. But I just want to say that LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, guys, is where I get a ton of business. And if you look at this price of like, what is this, $460 a month? If you could do this for 3 months or even 6 months and get one person interested in solar, get one deal closed, recruit one consultant, and get passive income, could that help you? Will you get a return on investment instantly? I mean, you all know how much we make on one deal. And if they're going to increase your network, connect you with everybody, do training calls, message everyone for you. I mean, there's a lot of power here. So I hope you all take a look at it. Look at the guide training slides that I shared there. But yeah, Christine, I don't really see any questions right now. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask? I don't think so.
Quiet group today.
Yeah.
It's early where you go. Well, are most of you on the West Coast?
Mostly. It's 11 a.m. here.
Okay, it's not even that early anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what the excuse is.
I'll do a last few announcements here. I'll just take 2-3 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up.
I can ask a question, so we're not just the boring kids. On LinkedIn, is it worth it to get this premium? Like, would it affect your success rate? Because I've noticed that there is a premium you can get with LinkedIn.
What do you mean by a premium you can get?
It like offers you like a premium account, because I just use a free LinkedIn account, but it keeps offering me saying that you can get more information with a premium account.
Well, are you talking about? Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
So LinkedIn does offer multiple tiered versions of LinkedIn. The free version is fine if you are in the stages of manually prospecting, but with any LeadHero program you do, we require the Sales Navigator upgrade. So that is going to allow us to create the specific audience searches with those 29 different filters. And that's really important because you don't want to waste invites on someone that is not going to be your target audience and not going to be interested. So it's important to be using that Sales Navigator search.
Got it. Thank you.
It's only worth it if you're using it.
Right.
Because we've talked with people that weren't using, that are new to learning about LeadHero, and they've been paying for Sales Navigator for a year, and they do searches, and then they're like, what do I do with 1,000 people that showed up in a search? Like, what do I do with this? Right. So it's worth it if you're able to put it to use and find a way to get ROI on it. And then to use our program, you have to have Sales Navigator, because that's the only way that we can help you with learning how to do searches. Good question, because you're right. Every time you log in, they ask you, and you have no idea what they're asking you about.
They're just being salespeople. I can't stand those people.
Consistency.
All right, Christine.
I see Larry. Yeah.
Is that it for now?
Yep. Larry just said, yes, Larry was with us for a year, and Yeah, we love Larry. We miss you, Larry. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. The link is there. My email is Christine@leadheroforsales.com. It would be great if you could fill out the form, but if you forget or you don't have the form link anymore and you just want to reach out, that's how you can reach me.
All right. If you don't mind, stop sharing. I'll take over. Just 2-3
Yeah.
minutes, some last announcements, everyone. And then if you can type your contact info in the chat for everybody, Christine, that'd be great.
Absolutely. I think Sarah just did. So that's there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and your support of Power and helping everyone's profiles and get more connections in business. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have
Sarah.
a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
And here is their contact info. For those of you watching this recording, watching this video, feel free to write it down, take a screenshot, and reach out to them for more information. A few last announcements will get you off to your day. As you all know, there's a summer sales contest going on right now. They're giving away a Model Y Tesla as the top prize. Yesterday, they announced some winners. So far, we still have about a month to go, a little bit more than a month. So just a few shout outs. Chris Bernasso here, tied for 5th place. A lot of us know Wally Urita. Ubaldo's on the team. Congrats to him. JC Rangel and myself tied for 9th place. We have Jeffrey Navarro on the team. David Perez on the team, crushing it. Cynthia Elvidrez. So great to see so many people up on the top 20 here. And they're giving prizes from 21 to 50. Everybody can win, seriously, right now. So we got Lorenzo Jaime, a mentor on the team. And we have Paul Leon, another mentor on the team. Sierra Sims is a realtor on the team. Larson Wilkes is our Texas mentor. So we have a lot of people in the top 50 crushing it. Sell a few deals, guys, and you'll be in the leaderboard right now. There's a great opportunity, about a month and 10 days to go. All right, some important trainings today at 12 o'clock. If you can, there is a consultant training. It's regarding site info, and Sunlight Financial will be on there announcing a contest. This is hosted by Andrew Smith now every Tuesday at 12, consultant training, especially if you're new. This Thursday, there's a special market expansion, Mid-Atlantic, Carolinas, East Coast, this Thursday at 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking to build, invite, attract, recruit, you definitely want to be on that Thursday call. And that's on powercalendar.com. You can find these 2 events. Next Tuesday, weekly training, Paul Leon and myself will be discussing dealer fees, how to overcome dealer fees, how to price it, how to do a cash discount, what are some of the max price per watts, really just tackle that whole question. Even last night, Jonathan Bell was like, how do you, if someone's 50-50 on cash or loan, what do you lead with? What do you show them? How do you say it? How do you explain it? And we're going to cover all that next Tuesday. And then David Perez has said he'll be giving us a door knocking training, and maybe Owen you can partner together with David and knock out an awesome training, 2 of our great mentors. Bobby Smith will help us with recruiting and some event training. Cynthia Elvidrez will do some sales training. So we have more Tuesday events coming up. And in person tonight in San Diego, 6 o'clock, we have an event. For those of you that want to invite people or attend, we'd love to see you tonight, 6 p.m. At the Honor Foundation in San Diego. And then in Corona, August 5th, we have an in-person event, 6:30 in Corona. So make sure to utilize those to build, invite, and attend those in-person events. As always, last thing here, giving back. We have a Google slide resources page here, and you can get a slide deck to put in your presentation. You can partner with Give Power. You can partner with Prosperity Homes. For more information, I'm going to go ahead and put this link in the chat bar here. And again, that's just give power, solar water farms, fresh water across the world, or prosperity homes. We have a few contests. We have some slide decks you can incorporate into your homeowner presentation, letting people know that we make donations when we help people go solar. And last thing here, the We Funder is over $7 to $8 million, growing fast. We have a few more weeks, if not shorter, I think, maybe just a week left. If you'd like to invest to own a piece of power, the stock could split multiple times before we go public. So wefunder.com/power to learn more about that. And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. A big shout out to Christine and Sarah again. We want to say thank you to them and teaching us. And that is it. We'll go ahead and stop the recording, see if there's any last minute questions out there, and get on with our day.
And if you guys have any questions about LeadHero, reach out to Christine, or if you guys want to know how LinkedIn works or how I've been doing it, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I'll put my email in the chat for you guys as well.
Awesome. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.